Before last night, after a conference call with the NBA, Mark Cuban was asked by a Dallas Mavericks player what the likelihood would be of NBA games being suspended. He answered at the time with 5%. Then suddenly after this, Rudy Gobert was diagnosed with the coronavirus, and as you can see, Cuban was in complete shock to find out that the NBA had suspended play. And guys, I think a lot of us were in complete shock. Suspending play at this moment means at the very least some games are going to be missed. The NBA is going to lose a lot of money, but it really shows what is important here: everyone's health and safety. In fact, looking at Mark Cuban's interview closer here, we can see why the NBA has made this decision. As Cuban said,
nobody, that's alive has seen anything like this. Best we can do is defer to experts.
He went on to say,
and I credit the NBA because rather than pretending, we went out and hired some of the best people, and the best we can do is take their guidance, and that's what we've done. There's no way to really know what comes next.
So the NBA has actually hired experts here, and from their guidance has made the decision to suspend NBA play for right now. As for Adam Silver, he went on TNT and talked, but most of the important information he gave could be found in this letter. As we can see, this letter says, this hiatus will last at least 30 days, and we intend to resume the season if and when it becomes safe for all concerned. The thing is though, what does this mean? Because last night, Woj tweeted out, I do know this. There's still a feeling around the league tonight that this season will resume at some point. So what does this mean for the NBA season going forward? Is the season over, or are we still going to see playoff basketball? And speaking of the playoffs, what is the NBA going to do if the league comes back this year? Because as of right now, the coronavirus is a highly infectious disease, and as of today, over 125,000 people have been infected worldwide. There have also been 4,600 deaths, and as we can see from the MLB suspending games, from the MLS suspending games, from the NHL suspending games, from college basketball suspending their conference tournaments, this is no longer something people should be joking about on Twitter. It is incredibly serious. However, the thing is here, while this situation is definitely up in the air and we don't really know what's going to happen, we can look at what China did, because the coronavirus originated in China, which meant that the CBA, China's professional basketball league, was the first major basketball league to feel the coronavirus's impact. And because of the spread of the virus, the CBA suspended operations on February 1st. However, with that said, on the same day that the NBA suspended their games, the CBA sent a memo telling their players that the situation is, quote, basically stable, and to expect to play games again in April. And in fact, going even further here, there are currently several NBA players playing in China, and these players were told when CBA play was suspended that if they were to sign new contracts with new teams and not return to the CBA, they would receive a lifetime ban. That was how sure China was that basketball was going to resume, and now it is. And on top of this information, right now China is weighing their options for what the best course is to resume their schedule. These options include playing every single game in 1 or 2 cities, shortening the rest of the season, and playing without fans. This is something to keep in mind because if the NBA is going to return, the league might weigh these same options. The difference here though is that no players in the CBA have contracted the virus, which is definitely a big difference because as of right now, players in the NBA have already contracted the coronavirus. This means that the NBA situation is clearly more drastic. The reason being that these players that have already contracted the coronavirus have been in contact with other players in the NBA for the last 10 days. The reason for this is that before symptoms even show, if a person has the coronavirus, they are still contagious, and that means that Rudy Gobert has played games while he was contagious, and so at this point it remains unknown how many players in the NBA have the coronavirus, because once Rudy Gobert gets another player sick, that player goes on to play another team where they can get other players sick, and so on. So while China's professional basketball league only suspended play for 10 weeks, as I said before, Adam Silver said the NBA will be suspended for at least 30 days. During those 30 days, players will be quarantined and tested, and then after that, hopefully a majority of the NBA will be cleared of this virus, and that would hopefully mean that the NBA would be able to resume play with their healthy players. But the thing is, we don't really we know what is going to happen. And the timing of the NBA shutting down action is significant, as at this point we are going to get into some basketball talk. The NBA playoffs were scheduled to begin on April 18th. Right now, a big playoff race was going on for the 8th seed in the Western Conference, and as you can see in the Western Conference, there are also several teams that could change seeds, and the same thing is happening in the Eastern Conference. So what the NBA decides to do if they decide to resume play is going to be very interesting for these teams. As of right now, I would say that if players got cleared, I think it would be likely that the NBA would resume play but would not allow fans to attend the games. That would be my best bet, but for now, guys, I do want to just say stay safe, make sure you're washing your hands, make sure you're not touching your face, quarantine yourself if you can. It's definitely better in this situation to be safe than sorry. So there we have it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for supporting, and again, be safe. Thank you. You guys are awesome, and as always, have an awesome day, and cue that music.